This 911 Strong podcast is brought to you by our partners at the Police Credit Union of California.
As a financial institution founded by law enforcement for law enforcement and their families over 65 years ago, they have the experience and understanding to help you with all your financial needs,
including exclusive products designed specifically for law enforcement professionals. To become a member today, visit thepolicecu.org. That's the police, the letter C, and the letter U.org.
Or call 800-222-1391 and tell them you heard about them from the 911 Strong podcast.
Station to all units.
Prepare to copy.
You're listening to the 911 Strong podcast.
Don't act like I never told you.
With Aram and Kristen, bringing you stimulating discussion.
No, I like the sound of that.
An entertaining conversation.
And now, here's Kristen and Aram.
Hey friends, welcome back to the 911 Strong podcast. My name is Aram Choe, and with me as always is America's favorite dispatcher, Kristen.
Hello, America.
America?
I don't know.
The world. Canada's
world.
listening. Costa Rica. You know what? Of all the charts we never fall off of, it's Costa Rica.
I love Costa Rica.
We're number 36 right now. The last time I checked, we're number 36 in Costa Rica. What is going on in Costa Rica? Why do we have such a huge audience?
Danny and I made such a huge impact when we were down there.
You must have.
That's what it was. It was the failing attempt at surfing.
They saw this dark, tall, handsome Hispanic guy with big lips and flowing hair next to this translucently white albino Kristen. I mean, what the heck is going on here? They need their own TV show. If you guys had your own TV show, I would watch.
Oh my gosh, no, nobody would watch. It would just be him talking about guns, and then their kids going nuts, and me probably attacking Danny.
No, that sounds like a pretty good reality TV show. I mean, we look at Yellowstone. Nobody thought that they would put together a show with conservative values, guns, drama, and it would do good. Now it's a phenomenon. I saw a Tunnels for Towers commercial, and you know who their newest spokesperson is?
Yeah, Rip.
Yeah, Cole Hauser.
No, it's Rip. We can't use the real Cole because he's just no.
But the
but
real
Rip,
Cole
Rip.
is dressing like Rip now.
Because he knows he needs to stay as Rip on and off camera. Because going back to his pre-days, we weren't about that.
but it's like Rip is what every guy wants to be now. You know how many of those jackets that he wears, those Western cowboy jackets, they're called oiled trucker jackets is what they're called, and they go for like $300-400.
Really?
Yeah, I was in Laughlin for my daughter's competition, and we went to a boot barn because there's really nothing to do out there except go to the outlets. So I went to Boot Barn, and I was looking at the price tags for some of these, and they're like $300-400, and they just look like if the average person saw this guy wearing this jacket, it'd be like, all right, he's a construction worker or works in a warehouse. But they're really nice. They're quilted on the inside. They have flannel. They have duck feathers. They're warmer than North Face jackets and stuff, and they look cooler.
Wow. So are you going to be dressing like Rip or no?
No. A Korean Rip. That would go over really good.
You need to tell them they need to be more inclusive in Yellowstone.
You know what's funny? The old me would have made a parody page, Instagram page, and I would have called myself Lip because Koreans don't say R very good. It sounds like the L. I'd be Lip, and I would dress like Rip, and that'd be a whole other character.
I think you should do it. It's been a while since you've done something funny.
I can't. Well, that's why I can't.
I think you can do something funny.
I don't know.
think
Maybe when I retire.
The current peeps, you might be able to swing it.
No, there's haters out there.
But some of them are they anymore?
Well, maybe. I don't know. But especially now, it's I'm like in a role where I have to be mature now, Kristen. I have to.
Gosh.
It's a different Aram Choe now.
What a boring world we're going to be living in. A serious Aram Choe.
Well, we'll see. I really do feel like the weight's been lifted off my shoulders leaving detectives. Going to patrol is kind of relaxing. I don't have to think about stuff the next day. When my day ends, my day ends. I don't have to carry stuff over to the next day.
I can say for Danny, it was a lot less stressful at night and after work.
Yeah.
Like you deal with your stuff at work and then you go home and it's over with. And
Right.
with DB, it continues because you have all these cases that are pending or things you still have to follow up on, and it's just a whole different level of stress, and you want to do the right thing for the victims and their families, and just a different kind of stress.
Yeah. Speaking of stress, we always talk about how we deal with stress and our brains, right? We always want to take care of our brain. We do a good job, and you have a mental health background, and we talk about our mental health. But what about our physical health? What are we doing for our physical health? And that's what today's episode is about on the 911 Strong podcast. We're going to talk about what we consume and how it fuels our bodies, and some of the supplements that I take, some of the supplements you take, and some of the foods that we eat that make us feel good. Some of the foods, for instance, like sugars, inflame your body. It causes inflammation, and inflammation releases certain hormones, and those hormones affect how you think. So not only are you getting external stressors from work, you're now getting internal stressors from what you eat. So that's what we'll be talking about on this episode. And I'm going to start by talking a little bit about my health history. So growing up, I was always a fat kid. Some would argue I'm still a fat kid now, but I was a lot fatter. My son Kona, he's on the heavier side. But that was me in high school. He's 15 years old. I mean, he's a lot taller than I was in high school. In high school, I was like 5'4",
He's the
5'5".
size of like a 25-year-old man.
Yeah, yeah. And he's got his Jason Momoa hair. He looks like a fat Aquaman. But he's some people ask if he's Samoan. I'm like, no, he's Korean, half Korean. But, he was exactly me in high school. I always struggled with my weight, but I didn't pay attention to it either. Nobody ever made fun of my weight. Nobody. I was comfortable with it. I played football. I could move, and it was not a big deal. It wasn't until I got to college that it started being more conscious, because I started thinking about girls, and maybe I wanted to appear a little better, and my weight kind of got out of control because I wasn't practicing football anymore. I wasn't training.
Yeah.
So my diet kept the same, but my activity level decreased, and my body just ballooned. I think the heaviest I ever got to was 240 pounds, and I'm only 5'7", right?
Yeah.
I mean, I tell people I'm 6 foot tall, but I'm 5'7", and 5'7", 240 is not a good height-weight ratio at all. So I had to learn real quick. The internet wasn't as available. It actually wasn't available. There was no bodybuilding.com, or there's no blogs that tell you how to lose weight. Yeah. So I experimented, and I figured a lot of things out by myself. I was doing keto stuff before keto was a thing, because I knew sugars were bad, so I went away from sugars. And I knew starchy white flour foods were bad, so I stayed away from breads and rice and pasta. So I ate mostly meat and eggs and salads, and the weight came off. And I also noticed that I was feeling better. And I used to think maybe it was because I looked better, that I felt better, and that has something to do with that. There's a component of that. But it was because I wasn't consuming inflammatory foods. And inflammatory foods cause, there's a direct relationship between inflammation and your neurological health. I'm not a scientist, but I can tell you, after I've consumed I've had a day where it was bad food, greasy, oily food, and lots of sweets after that. The next morning, I'm not feeling so hot.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I was suffering a lot and feeling very draggy and everything else, and I actually was turned on to something called Viome, and so that's what I took, and it was able to tell me what caused inflammation in my gut health, and what I should stay away from, which I have minimal amount, and what I should my body just loves and processes really well. So that kind of helped me.
What is Viome?
Viome? It's like a test, yeah. So okay. It takes, it sends a kit home for you to take samples, and then you send it back, and then they have an app, and it'll tell you what you should completely have and what you should avoid and stuff. So some of this, or what your superfoods are. So almonds, I can have a ton of that. I can't have alfalfa. I can't have a bunch of spicy foods. It doesn't work for me anymore, which really sucks because my mother-in-law makes a ton of amazing foods. So yeah, it just kind of like gives you a list of what to avoid, like black tea for whatever that is bad for my gut, even caffeine, and I'm drinking it again, but I do it very minimally now because if I drink too much, I can feel different. I feel a lot different and draggy and sluggish and brain fog and all the things. So getting older, it's taking a toll.
I know, right? I used to think, oh my gosh, I still feel young. I act young, so I should be okay. But no, your body does different things on the inside. And one of the things that I can't do anymore it pisses me off because I love it is spicy foods. I can't. It just rips me apart. I can't. Literally, it rips me apart.
Yeah, no, I mean, like how we were talking in our last episode about In-N-Out and the chopped chilies. Like, I can't have that anymore. I can't have jalapenos anymore. If I do, it has to be very, very minimal because it'll mess me up. And, it's just not worth it to me. So it's now, I think that we're older, paying more attention to our bodies and how our bodies are reacting, like, say, 20 minutes down the road from something we ate because we'll feel bloated or sluggish or, crash or, whatever.
Right. One of the things I did, speaking of your gut, was improve my gut health because I had no idea how important your gut health equals the rest of your body's health. And it makes sense. Once it was broken down to me, it makes sense. So what I've learned is all the foods that you consume, right, they enter your mouth and it goes down to your gut, your stomach. That's where it lives, and that's where it extracts your acids and everything. Process it goes down to your intestines and it extracts. And that's where you get the most out of the foods you eat. But if your gut is not healthy, a lot of it just goes to waste. Your body doesn't extract it. The good bacteria that you should have in your body, if it's not there, it's not going to break the foods down, and so you're not going to have healthy movements. Let's just say that. And a lot of that waste just gets stuck into your body, and so you want to have clean, healthy movement. So I didn't realize that certain foods that you eat, even if you go on a round of antibiotics, will kill your good bacteria. It kills the bad bacteria and it kills your good bacteria. So I started implementing something in my water every morning. One of the first things I do every day now, it's made a huge difference, is drink water. I wake up, I drink 16 ounces of water because it gets everything moving, right?
Yeah.
And it's calorie-free. It doesn't taste like anything, so it's not going to do an insulin spike. And so it starts my day. It gets everything going. It's like fuel for your body. And people don't understand how important water is. Before I go on a podcast, I'm drinking water. Before I go on TV, I'm drinking water. Before I do something important, before I go for an interview, I'm drinking water because it sets everything. Yeah, it has minerals in there, and the minerals react with your body's bloodstream, and it does a lot of things. You're right. We're 75% water, so that's instant health. If you put it in terms of like a video game, when your power is down, if you're a character and your power is down, it's like leveling up, healthing up, drinking water. And one of the things I recently added is something called liquid chlorophyll. I don't know if you know much about that. Do you know what chlorophyll is?
Yeah, it's from the plants.
Yeah, it's the blood of the plants, basically the stuff that makes plants' leaves green. Chlorophyll is like the blood of plants. I forget what the mineral. I think it's magnesium. So the difference between it's very similar composition biologically. The difference is our blood has iron and chlorophyll has magnesium, I believe. So it's the lifeline of plants, and when the sun hits it, it performs something called photosynthesis, where it makes that turn into food for the plant. So I buy these drops on Amazon. I put 3 drops in my 16 ounces of water, and I drink that every day. And it doesn't taste bad. It just kind of has this essence of like eating a salad.
Earthy?
Yeah, not really earthy, like greeny. Like you ever eat like arugula, and it has that really strong.
Or matcha?
No, even matcha it doesn't have a taste. Okay. It doesn't have a taste at all. It's just an essence. Like freshly cut grass, you kind of smell that. That's kind of that's I don't know. But after my first 3 days, I just get used. I drink it, I down it. It doesn't taste like anything. But it does promote healthy movement. But it's not like coffee where you have to go be near a bathroom, right? After you drink.
Yeah.
It just turns your normal movements healthier, but it kills the bad bacteria too, and it gives you good bacteria in your stomach. But the side effects, let me tell you about the side effects. It makes your skin healthier. It gives it. They were giving liquid chlorophyll to soldiers in the infirmary after World War II because it gets rid of body odor naturally. So they said after about 3 weeks of taking liquid chlorophyll, it kills the stuff that causes odor out of your body. So you don't have to wear deodorant anymore. Your BO is non-existent.
You need to take more chlorophyll.
Stop. So I don't have body odor. I never had body odor, but
No,
I have
I'm just kidding.
But I have bad breath sometimes.
I've never noticed your breath, but then again, my nose doesn't work very well. So
yeah, my breath can get. I've noticed my own breath, but after a few weeks after that, it kills the same stuff that causes the bad bacteria in your mouth. So, some of your bad breath doesn't come from your mouth; it comes from your esophagus and your stomach linings and stuff.
Yeah,
this kills that. So it eliminates half the sources of your bad breath. So that's another benefit of it. So I just started taking. It's not expensive. It's cheap. Like a 1 month supply is like $15. I just drop it in I'm drinking water anyway, so I drop it in there.
Yeah.
And that's one of my newest supplements that I've taken. That really, when my core, right, the core. If you think about things, your core is the foundation of your body. When my core is happy and healthy, other parts of my body are happy and healthy, and my mental health is now happy and healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't do the chlorophyll, but I do the 2 cups of water in the morning. And then I also drink lemon water. And luckily for me, I have lemons outside. So it has a lot of the same benefits that you mentioned that chlorophyll does, like the clear skin. It helps with your gut health and the flow of things and anti-inflammatory and all of that. So that's what I've been doing. And it's been working out pretty good. I like it. And it actually replaces my coffee. Like, it's very rare that I drink coffee now. It's usually just teas or water or my lemon water.
Right. The other funny you mentioned that is before I leave my house every morning, I usually make myself a cup of coffee for the drive. Now I just drink this water. One of the other things it does is it suppresses your appetite. So normally by the time I get to work an hour or two later, I'm hungry. I want to eat something. The last week, I've been having to remind myself I better eat something or I'm not going to be hungry for lunch. And so it does. It's great for people that are intermittent fasting like I do. It just makes me less hungry towards the end of my fasting period, and it reduces bloat, the water weight that you normally keep in your body. It's like a natural diuretic, like very similar to lemons and lemon water. So yeah, I've noticed I pee more. Man,
I mean, the more water you drink, the more you're going to be urinating too. And I mean, that's what it was. I mean, like, drinking water isn't going to make you gain weight. It'll flush it out. Like, I mean, way back when I was competing, I'd be drinking a gallon of water a day, and I was at my leanest. So it's good for you.
Some people don't realize that fat leaves your body in only 3 ways. You can only leave fat, maybe 4th if you include surgery, but 3 natural ways. It's through CO2 gas that comes out of your breath. So if you're working out and you're breathing heavy, that burning of energy comes out of your breath in the form of CO2, and that's fat that's vaporized. That's a gas, and it comes out of your breath. The other way is through sweat, right? When you're sweating, the fat leaves your skin, your pores, through water and fat. It shuttles through the water. And the other way is urination. It leaves your body through urine. So it makes sense if you're drinking water and exercising to the point where you're breathing heavy and sweating. Yeah. That's a trifecta right there. You're losing a maximum amount of fat.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the only way you can really do it. And I mean, you can use miracle pills or whatever else, but if you ever stop that, then you're not going to be losing like you were.
Yeah, they're really not healthy for you. They cause a lot of those pills are caffeine based. They elevate your heart rate. Yeah. They suppress your appetite because caffeine's a natural appetite suppressant. But it's not good for your heart, and it's not good for your anxiety and your blood pressure. And if you're in this job, like if you're a dispatcher or you're a cop, it's already stressful enough. Why would we want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I regret doing all of the supplements that I used to do because I was taking a lot of different stuff and fat burners and pills and like all of that stuff, and I think it really affected my body. And then so I'm completely off of all that stuff now, but I have to work a lot harder because I don't have those magic pills to help me, you know, lose weight and all of that. So
Yeah, I knew some people in the bodybuilding world whose lives ended early. I mean, massive heart attacks and strokes in their 40s, and that they attribute that to the fat burners and stuff they were taking. So I have completely eliminated fat burners. I used to take them too back in my 20s.
Yeah.
When I didn't even need it back then. In my 20s, all I had to do was eat right, and I would have been.
Yeah.
But now that I'm. Right?
I should have maybe flipped it because now I really need it, but I know better not to take it.
Yeah.
So
don't take them. You don't need them.
No, you don't. It's just it's hard work, and the older you get, your metabolism slows down, your body starts changing a lot, and you just have to put in a lot more effort and be a lot more mindful of how like we said, how your body's reacting to the food you eat, and if you're eating real whole food or if you're eating manufactured food. So it's important to pay attention to the labels of the stuff you're using. Even I was looking at the cooking sprays that we were using, and some of them, I can't remember what it's called, but they use like what they use for pesticides to blow out the pressure for like the canola.
Oh, the propellant?
Canola oil, the propellant.
Yeah.
So I was even looking at stuff like that and threw a bunch of them out. Now I just have one that's just avocado oil. That's it.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing else that's in there. So it's really important to pay attention to those ingredients, because there's so much fake stuff in there and manufactured stuff that we really shouldn't be eating or consuming.
Right. And for me, I think what works for me may not work for everybody else, but I would suggest you find something that works for you. And so I've done everything. I've done keto, I've done low carb, high protein, but what works for me is intermittent fasting, because I don't want to figure out. I mean, I eat reasonably well. I know McDonald's isn't great to eat every day, so or eating a Pop-Tart every day is not great. So what I do is I eat clean. I generally clean 80% of the time, because I want to enjoy life. So I would say if I'm doing it 80% of the time and 20% I'm giving myself a little bit of a leeway, I'm still going to make healthier choices. But intermittent fasting has been great for me for a couple of reasons. Because if you're not familiar with intermittent fasting, it's where you don't eat for a certain period of time within 24 hours, and then you give yourself a window. So for me, my eating window is 8 hours, and I don't eat for 16 hours. So that's 24 hours. And you're like, how do you not eat for 16 hours? Well, half of that time I'm sleeping, right?
Yeah.
That's a fasting period. And then, so just to give our listeners an idea, my eating window is from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. I don't eat past 2. I start eating at 8. I have my breakfast at 8, and then my lunch at 12 or 2, between 12 and 2. And after that, I don't eat. How do you do that? Don't you get hungry? Well, not really. I do jiu-jitsu after that, too. I do jiu-jitsu completely at, 6 o'clock, so I have no food in my belly. Not that I could do jiu-jitsu with food in my belly anyway. It's something I don't get hungry. I get hungry in the morning, and I'm like, you know what? Instead of eating when I'm hungry in the morning, I'm going to wait till 8 so I can complete that window.
Yeah.
And I just feel so much better. They say when you intermittent fast, you concentrate so much better. Your other senses are heightened, like your hearing, your sight, and all that stuff. It just goes back to the primal days where cavemen, they didn't eat on a schedule. They ate when they could eat, so that when they would fast.
They starved a lot of the time, not intentionally, but just because of the food. The food source wasn't always there.
Exactly. So we were talking about food sources. I found this thing on the internet, and it's a post that talks about some of the misconceptions about what food's better. So I'm sure you've seen these. These are called the complete cookies. They call them keto cookies from Lenny and Larry's. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I used to eat their cookies a lot.
Okay, so if you had to compare a Lenny and Larry's complete cookie, that has 16 grams of protein and is completely plant-based, to a McDonald's double cheeseburger, what do you think the better choice is?
I think it's the burger, actually.
You're right. So the Lenny and Larry's cookie, one cookie, has 420 calories.
Yeah, they're a lot. Well, if you look at the package, the biggest cookie, it says it's 2 servings.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
yeah.
they get you that way.
Oh, yeah, that's how they get you.
Okay, so it's 420. To compare that 420 calories in a cookie, McDonald's double cheeseburger is 430 calories. But you get a whole burger. Double cheeseburger. How many grams of protein in the Lenny and Larry's cookie? 16 grams.
Uh-huh.
How much protein in the cheeseburger, double cheeseburger?
Oh, a double cheeseburger? What, 40?
No, 25 grams.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're getting 9 more grams of protein. How about carbs? This cookie has 59 grams of carbs. What do you think the McDonald's double cheeseburger has?
I don't know.
35 grams of carbs.
Yeah. It just goes to show you its labeling,
Right.
you know.
Okay. Here's the one I thought was interesting, the last two. The Lenny and Larry's cookie has 25 grams of sugar. The McDonald's double cheeseburger has 7 grams of sugar. The Lenny and Larry's cookie has 12 grams of fat, and the McDonald's double cheeseburger, 22 grams of fat.
Yeah.
So if you're counting macros, which I did for a little while, you had only 420 calories, and you had some protein and carbs to give, I would choose the McDonald's double cheeseburger because it'll keep me more satiated. It has more fat, 10 more grams of fat, and it keeps me more satisfied.
Yeah.
Right. If I eat that cookie, I'm going to be hungry again.
Yeah, you'll burn through it. Yeah.
Okay. We're keeping to the theme of McDonald's. We'll keep McDonald's in there, but I'm going to show you these. So we have a Jamba Juice PB plus protein, whey protein shake.
Jamba Juice is terrible.
Okay, I didn't know this. I thought they're
They're
to
terrible.
2 McDonald's Egg White Delights. Have you ever had those before?
No.
So what they are the English muffin, and they have the poached egg,
Okay.
and the egg puck, whatever you want to call it, a slice of ham and cheese, and you get 2 of those. It's called 2 McDonald's Egg White Delights, compared to one, it's a small. I think it's a 16-ounce Jamba Juice PB and protein. All right, so the Jamba Juice PB and protein has 560 calories. How many calories do you think are in the 2 McDonald's Egg White Delights, 2 sandwiches?
Well, I know it's going to be less than that because of this little quiz. Normally, I'd probably say about like 600 calories, but
Yeah.
we'll say 325.
Oh, good guess. It's 500 calories, so about 250 calories a piece. The Jamba Juice PB plus protein has 42 grams of protein because they put whey protein in there.
Right.
That's a good amount of protein. But the McDonald's Egg White Delights, for 2 of them, you get 36 grams of protein. Not bad.
Yeah.
Carbs. The Jamba Juice PB plus protein has 53 grams of carbs, and the 2 McDonald's Egg White Delights have 63 grams of carbs, so 10 more carbs.
Yeah.
The Jamba Juice PB plus protein has 38 grams of sugar. You know what 30 grams of sugar looks like? So to give you guys a visual, it's either 38 sugar cubes, or you ever see those sugar packets at restaurants? It's 38 of those.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's a whole mess of sugar.
I can't remember which guy's Instagram shows that, but he'll like sit in like a Starbucks and he'll like put how many like sugar packets is in one of those, and it's just disgusting.
It is. And
You
sugar
just don't
is
think
so
about
bad
it.
for you.
Yeah.
Sugar causes inflammation, but it also increases your blood sugar environment. And we all know cancer cells thrive. That's their food is sugar. Cancer cells thrive on sugar.
Yeah.
The 2 McDonald's Egg White Delights have 6 grams of sugar. All right, here's the kicker: fat. Jamba Juice, which is fruit, right, and peanut butter and protein. This shake has 23 grams of fat.
Yeah. Well, I think they use like milk products and ice cream and I don't know, other stuff. So it's not just like juice.
Yeah.
Or they use the sugary juice and that's what's in there too. It's not just the actual fruit blended up,
Right.
you know? So they were like really bad. We go to, if I do one of those, we'd rather go to Nectar, and
Right.
it's, healthy.
Yeah, I remember places like Robex and Nectar are a better choice.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to look at what they're putting in there. Like peanut butter. Okay, peanut butter could be good. I used to use it when I compete, but it wouldn't be like Jif peanut butter. Like
Right.
I would have to use like the actual like real stuff that
Raw
just had
stuff.
yeah. So, and that's not what they're using because it's not cost effective for their business.
They're throwing Skippy in there.
Yeah, so it's just you have to know like what you're putting into it, and it can be exhausting. But basically, I mean, the safest thing is if you can read the ingredients without any trouble, then you know you're okay to eat it.
Right.
If it's like all this hidden language and stuff like that, like most of it's like cancerous or it's like pesticides and all this other crap that's in there, then you probably should skip it.
All right. Okay, and finally, this is one. In-N-Out's going to sponsor us one day because we're bringing up In-N-Out quite a bit. But here we go. Cheesecake Factory's Sheila's Chicken Salad And if I'm looking at the picture, it's green, got chicken, got some nuts in there, and some like, I think they're wonton, like
Strips?
crisp strips, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or an In-N-Out 3x3. You've heard of the double-double, right?
Oh, yeah. I've heard of a 3x3. I've just never ordered one.
So a 3x3 is 3 meat patties and 3 layers of cheese in this delectable burger with lettuce, tomato, spread, and onion, and a delicious bun, the best buns in the business. Which one do you think is better for you?
Obviously, the 3x3.
You think so?
Now I do. You keep trying to trick me. I'm going to say the In-N-Out burger.
Okay. Well, the Cheesecake Factory Sheila's Chicken Salad has 1,830 calories.
Insane.
So if you are on a 2,000 calorie diet,
Yeah.
that killed that's
You're
your one
basically
meal.
done for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the In-N-Out 3x3, that's not even on the menu. You have to special order a 3x3. Is 860 calories.
Yeah.
Less
Crazy.
than half. Yeah.
And I bet if you made it protein style and took away the buns, it'd be a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a lot less than that too.
Yep. The chicken salad has 64 grams of protein. Makes sense because it's got chicken in it. But the 3x3 has 52 grams of protein. That's a lot. The salad, this kills me, has 132 grams of carbs. When I was counting macros, I can only eat 200 grams of carbs a day. 180. That would have killed it. But the In-N-Out 3x3 has 39 grams of carbs. Way less.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, this must be in the dressing, but the chicken salad has 56 grams of sugar. 56 sugar packets. 56 sugar cubes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
The dressing is what really gets people on their salads.
Yeah. The In-N-Out 3x3 cheeseburger has 10 grams of sugar. All right, so we're talking chicken versus red meat. The chicken salad has 122 grams of fat. The In-N-Out 3x3 cheeseburger, 55 grams of fat.
Yeah.
So that's the better choice for you.
Crazy, huh?
Okay, one more?
Uno mas.
Okay. We're going to compare a really sugary, known to be sugary cereal, Tony the Tiger Frosted Flakes.
Oh, I was going to say Lucky Charms.
Oh, that's sugary too. But
That was
in this
my
case,
go-to.
it's Frosted Flakes. I mean, the advertisement, that's the title of the
Or
of
Cinnamon
the cereal.
Toast Crunch.
No, the cereal says it's frosted with sugar.
Yeah.
They call it Frosted Flakes versus Kind Oats and Honey Granola. You know Kind bars? They make a granola, really healthy granola.
Yeah.
All right, this might surprise you. So a Kind granola bowl with 2 cups of granola is 721 calories. Whereas 2 cups of Frosted Flakes, so 2 cups for 2 cups, is 293 calories. Way less than half.
Wait, is the oats, is this just like broken up oats or is that a cereal too?
They call it granola. It's oats and honey granola with toasted coconut. Some people eat it like a snack, or some people eat it with milk.
Okay.
Like a cereal.
Or like in your yogurt, right? It's like the topping you can put on.
Yes,
That
exactly.
one? Okay.
Yeah, it's
I just
granola.
want to make sure what
Like
it was.
crumbly granola.
Yeah, okay.
The granola, Kind granola has 12 grams of protein, and the Frosted Flakes has 3. But you typically eat that with milk. So milk's going to add more protein to that.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind granola has 126 grams of carbs. And this was a shocker. Frosted Flakes only has 70 grams of carbs for 2 cups. 30 grams of sugar for the Kind granola and 26 grams of sugar for the Frosted Flakes. 18 grams of fat for the granola. How many grams of fat do you think in the Frosted Flakes?
You said 16 for granola?
18.
18, I'll say 16 for the cereal.
0 grams of fat for the Frosted
How
Flakes.
is that possible?
I don't know. There's no fat in
I guess. Well, when you throw in your milk, you're going to have fat.
unless you eat fat-free milk.
Ew.
So if you're looking for a nighttime dessert in front of, like, you know, when you watch TV and you want like something sweet,
Yeah.
I would have, before reading this, I would have grabbed the granola. I'm like, I'm having something healthy with granola. I'm gonna have some granola and sprinkle it on my yogurt. No, that's a lot of.
that voice?
That's my crunchy granola like hiker voice.
So it's, no, I'm going to have Frosted Flakes.
No, but I'm gonna have Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw 2 cups in a bowl and add some fat-free milk. Wham, bam, boom. I'm healthy. 0 grams of fat.
Please don't cancel us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's just, but then it goes down to calorie counting. Like that's good for if you're doing your macros and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Calorie counting and
Right.
stuff like that. But
You know,
ultimately, though, it just depends on what you're putting in your body too. Like you can eat a lot. You can eat those things and meet your macros,
right.
but you're limited. Whereas if you eat like solid vegetables and you're selecting your meats and everything else, you're going to be eating a lot more that way.
Right.
So you'll stay fuller longer if you eat more whole foods.
Yes. And that's really the trick, right? You want to be satiated. You want to be satisfied for as long as you can, because you don't want to eat something and an hour later be hungry. And that's just how you add more calories, more fat, more carbs, more sugars. And this way, I because of my intermittent fasting, I typically only eat twice a day. I know I go into your office because you have all the snacks, and sometimes I'll want a snack.
Yeah, Aram had a Pop-Tart this week, just saying.
I did. I had a Pop-Tart before we got on the podcast this morning. But like I said, I'm optimized right now.
Yeah. But you're doing good because you're really active.
Yeah, I
can't do that stuff because I'm not as active as you.
But you can be. I keep inviting you to jiu-jitsu, and you have this aversion to feet for whatever reason.
I hate
you know how hold on, this is for our listeners. You know how some people have feet fetishes? Kristen has the adverse of that, the opposite. What she has an opposite of. She hates feet. If she could chop off her own feet, she would.
I'm okay with my feet. I have nice feet. But no, I just can't. Their feet are just gross to me, and seeing them sweaty and having them by my face, it just makes me want to throw up. And then knowing, sorry, but some people, I don't sweat a lot. Even being as heavy as I am right now, I don't sweat that much. But seeing some of you guys, even Danny, he sweats a lot. It drips off his face. And if we're wrestling around and your sweat is falling into my face, I'm going to throw up. Yeah,
it
no,
happens.
it's not
I've had someone's sweat drop in my mouth.
Ugh.
Kristen's gagging her.
Making me want to throw up. It's in my throat. Oh, so disgusting. Yeah, no. And you know what? I would fight dirty. I would just start pinching or biting or whatever, because that's just so gross.
I take the good and the bad.
Nasty.
I take the bad and the good. I might get a little sweat in my mouth, but I know how to fight people.
No. And you know what? And you're I know how to fight people, but then, I'll tell Danny, I'll start doing my own moves. He's like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, it's fair. It's street fighting.
Okay.
I'm not going to be doing this pulling on your gi thing when I'm out in the street.
Danny hasn't gone to a no-gi class yet. Danny's always done gi.
I know.
Right? So if he's done no-gi, he'll know how to fight with people like you who don't wear a gi.
Yeah, I guess so. So I don't know, but I'd rather do I don't know. I'm gonna have to probably change it up soon when the girls' school stops, or they stop going to where they're going, because we're not be driving by LA Fitness. So maybe I'll start doing boxing or something.
I'm going to be in the gym more because I had to reduce my jiu-jitsu time for a couple of reasons. The last couple of years, my family's been really patient with me, letting me go 4 days a week. Something's got to give. With my new assignment and stuff, I can't do it as often, and I don't even know if my new schedule is going to allow me to go to training without moving schools. I don't want to move schools. So for the time being, I told my school that I've got to take some time off from jiu-jitsu because my schedule's not going to work. For those of you that don't know, I'm going back to patrol, and with patrol, you don't have a choice. I had a cushy schedule the last 3 years, and I won't have that. So.
Well, if you come early with me, because I start an hour early, because right now we're on 13 hours schedules, then you can work out with Danny when we get there at 5, or go throw him his butt on the mat that we have there and
no, I'm going to be lifting
jiu-jitsu on him.
So that's what I was going to say. I'm going to be lifting weights again because I've really been neglecting the weightlifting.
Yeah.
Because jiu-jitsu strong is way different than weightlifting strong, and now I'll be 46 here in a couple of weeks. My triceps aren't as full as they used to be. My pecs aren't, and I'm going to be really working on developing I call them my t-shirt muscles.
Yeah.
Only for nothing. I'm not performing in any sport or anything. It's purely for filling out my t-shirts, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Speaking of filling out my t-shirts, I'll be visiting our favorite gun store here in a couple weeks to get new t-shirts from ProForce. Our favorite gun store. If you don't know where ProForce is and you live in the Southern California area or the Prescott, Arizona area, you need to visit ProForce. But you can't just go. You need to go with a cop, an EMT, firefighter, someone with a military ID, because it's just like going to a really exclusive club. They're going to card you at the door. They're going to want to see that ID. So, like, my wife's a civilian, but she can go with me. But you have your police ID, you can go.
Yes.
And it's a playland. It's the mecca of toys for cops. They have everything from drones to tasers to body cams to guns. And that's what they're really known for. Pro Force Law Enforcement has the largest selection of guns anywhere. And when I go pick up my SIG P365 Macro, X-Macro, my new EDC gun that I'll be purchasing,
Nice.
I'll pick up a couple T-shirts for us.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll just go with you
Yeah, we'll make it a date.
since you have to come down the hill.
Yeah.
Since it's the Toys R Us of gun stores.
That's a good idea. But you know what? Nobody knows Toys R Us anymore. Only people our age.
The people who follow us probably do.
Yeah. Well, you know, it surprises you. I have a
Okay,
young
it's the
listener.
Amazon of gun stores.
Yes.
They're
So
younger ones.
So we have young listeners. I thought it was going to be people in our range. And, you know, stats for podcasts are really obscure. We don't know. We know what region, but we don't know age groups and demographics and stuff like that. All I know is how many listeners, where we're popular, where we're not popular, that we have a potential. I can't really say anything now. But we have the potential. I'm in talks with a streaming service that wants to bring our podcast onto their streaming service. And they pulled stats, and I didn't know that they could do this, but they're a big media company, and they said that they pulled the top 4 police-related podcasts, and they chose us.
Nice.
And they gave us some really good stats. So I was
We're
getting
excited.
discouraged. Yeah, I get discouraged because we don't have a lot of reviews on our podcast. I think we're stuck like around 200, somewhere in the 200s. I would like to be in the 500s because I think, you know, based on the amount of downloads we get from every episode, I know we have way more than that many listeners. So it'd be nice if we can get some of our listeners to just, you know, give us 5 stars.
Maybe I'll start putting some links on our Instagram stories. We're pretty bad on our Instagram, and it's my fault. So maybe I'll start putting some links on there and making it easier. Because for me, we're in a world of we want it easy and we want it quick and we want it now. And to go and research and go on, you know, Spotify or Apple Podcasts and then hit, you know, whatever and type it up.
Right.
It's a lot easier if I just put a link and you click it and it takes it straight there. So if you guys could start leaving some reviews,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah. Okay. And one more thing I want to touch out in terms of supplementation before we go, because we can do hours of this stuff, but one that I was kind of reluctant to talk to people about because it's personal, but at the same time, a lot of people are struggling with it, is hormonal health. So for the last 6 years, I've seen a hormone doctor, and it turns out I was having some personal struggles with weight gain and always being irritable and stuff like that. So I was imbalanced. So if we I don't want to offend any women, but when women are in their cycle, they get irritable, right? They get water retention, and they can't, they gain weight while they're in their cycle. That's all directly related to hormones, and it's the same for guys. When your hormones are off balance, your mental health is off balance, your outlook on life, you're just irritable. So long story short, we did a blood test, and my testosterone was really, really low. And the reason why it was low, and I hate to admit this, but when I was a brand new deputy and 165 pounds soaking wet, I really wanted to be bigger. So I took a lot of supplements that are illegal now, but they were over the counter back then. You go to your local Max Muscle and they give you these pills that said, oh man, this will blow you up. And they did. They blew me up. But it also meant I was in my 20s, young 20s. At the optimum time where I didn't need to mess with my hormones, and I messed with them, and it just always messed with my. So getting to my, I think I was 40 years old when I started going to this hormone doctor. They said, you're really bad. The good news is your estrogen normals are level for a female. So my estrogen was high and my testosterone was low, so we fixed that. I'm on testosterone. I've been on testosterone therapy now for over 5 years, and it's really. A lot of people think, oh, you're on steroids. Yeah, it is a steroid, but I'm not taking the doses that get you huge and yoked and stuff like that. I'm taking clinical doses. These are micro doses that just put me in the normal range of testosterone. And I didn't realize how important it is to be in the normal range in testosterone for men and women, because it helps you with optimizing your fat loss, your metabolism, your overall health. And if you look at pictures of me 5 years ago and pictures of me now, even now, I post a picture of myself on social media. People say, "Oh, you lost weight. You lost weight." Well, I've been losing weight, and it's not from doing anything different. I'm active, but I've always been active. I've always eaten clean. It's just now it's all kind of come together, and the catalyst for all that was my hormones. And I think since I've been on it, everything's been improving. I sleep so much better. I can sleep on less hours of sleep. So if any of you guys have questions about that, feel free to reach out to me, because I'm kind of an expert in it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, yeah, it works.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt either if you have no intention of getting on hormones to talk to your hormone doctor just to run things so you know where your hormones are at. Because you can do something like Liz, my wife, is completely against taking additional medication. So she doesn't want to inject herself with hormones or anything like that, but she does have low hormones. So she uses natural products like DIM, reduces your estrogen. And she takes DHEA supplements that raise her testosterone levels. So she's doing it the natural way. She wasn't as severe as me, but that's why. So, anyways, you won't know until you get your blood work done. So I suggest getting your blood work done so you know where your hormones are at.
Yeah. Very important. Just don't assume.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, like I said, we can go hours and hours because my medicine cabinet is full of products, and I can probably make an entire episode based on one of the products I take. But if you're interested in knowing the supplements that I take or Kristen takes, reach out to us on Instagram 911strong, or dispatcher Kristen, and we'll be happy to. We answer our DMs. It might take a while, but we do, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, hit us up. Let us know.
All right, friend. Well, I am going to go. I got to take Liz out on a date today. I owe it to her, and I think I haven't had a chance to celebrate yet on my promotion. So I promoted guys to lieutenant.
Yay.
So I'm very serious now, Lieutenant Choe.
Yeah, boring Lieutenant Choe.
You know what's another cool thing about me making lieutenant is I'm the department's first Asian American to make lieutenant.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Thank you. Thanks for being so excited about that with me. That's a lot of responsibility.
I was thinking who promoted, and I'm like, yeah, I think they got a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah. No, we have a United Nations of promotions there. All right, that's it. I just wanted to throw that in there because that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go celebrate. Take my wife out to a date, and we'll have a steak or something. Good things. Or have an In-N-Out 3x3. Oh yeah, I am thinking about that, and I'll send a picture of that to Johnny. Kill him. Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, that does it for this episode. I want to thank you for bringing us into your homes, on your commutes, and into your offices. And we know you have your choice to listen to just about anybody. But since you're listening to us anyways, I think your friends would like to listen to us too. So share us with your friends and family, or else I'm going to send Kristen to your house. And you're not going to want that to happen, because Kristen will... What am I going to do? You're going to jujitsu them into submission until they tell their friends. I'm going to street fight. Aram will jujitsu you. until you tell your friends about it. So do that. Or unless some of you guys are into that. So maybe that wasn't the right comment to make. Gosh. All right, guys. Okay, I think we're done. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.